Are we on? Are we on? Are we on? Are we on? Is my mic working? No. Huh. Is my mic working? Is my mic working? Hang on a second. I need to make sure my mic's working because that would be really stupid if it wasn't. If it wasn't. Oh, it's working. If it wasn't. Oh, it's working. If it wasn't. Oh, it's working. If it wasn't. Feedback. Oh, it's working. Okay. Now that we know that it's working. Holy cow, look at my shirt. Look at my hair. I got COVID hair. COVID hair. The new hairstyle. Hey, I hope everybody's doing good. I've been working a lot. And the feedback is melting my brain. Well, it should be over. It was melting my brain too. But you know, that only takes a temperature of about 25 degrees. No. Anyway, where do I start? This is going to be a gripe, and it's not really a gripe. It's just it's informational, I guess. You know, we see a lot of these posted, especially here lately, with a lot of people not working. About I'm a new modeler. What's a good kit for a new modeler? This and that and the other thing. Which is a great question. The problem is a lot of people assume that new modeler means somebody who's not willing to spend any money. And that's not necessarily true at all. So what ends up happening is, you know, people start recommending, oh, you know, get an old monogram kit. You can get them cheap, or an old Revell kit or whatever, and it'll be great, and you know, help you build your skills and this and that and the other thing. And really, that's where you want to start somebody? Those aren't easy. You know, I mean, I still build the stuff, and I love the stuff, as most of you know. And compared to Tamiya, I mean, if you're looking for something easy, Tamiya is the place to start. It really is. I don't know that many people could argue with you too much about that. Maybe Bandai. But anyway, so I always, every time somebody jumps into one of those things and like, oh, go to Hobby Lobby and get the or Michaels or whatever and get the Revell Mustang, Revell P51 kit or whatever. It's like, no. Right, start them on Tamiya or Hasegawa. And Hasegawa, I'm not a big Hasegawa fan person at all. I think Hasegawa is highly overrated in most cases. Personally, I mean, some of their stuff is fine, but a lot of their stuff is not. You know, a lot of their stuff is about on par with what Monogram stuff was in their heyday, honestly, and that's okay with me. But anyway, so you know, and this kind of comes in. So I used to be really heavy into amateur astronomy, and when I got into that field, into that hobby, and you know, got to the point where I was making recommendations to other people, I told them the same thing that I was told when I first got out of the hobby. Is like, do not buy a cheap telescope. It will disappoint you right out of the gate, and you won't want anything to do with this at all. Just don't even go there. You know, and I would even say the same thing with guitar. Not that I'm a um, much of a player, that I really can't any. I anyway. Um, you know, you don't go out and buy a $15 Walmart guitar and expect much out of it. It's just not going to work. So why in the world would you tell somebody new to the hobby to go out and buy something that's going to require them to work a lot harder than they need to have a success, right? Um, and that's what you need. You need to have a success. You need to feel like you're accomplishing something if you're going to keep going. Yeah, us old farts, we like messing with all this crazy stuff and tinkering with these things and sanding this and sanding that and lining this up and cutting the locating pins off. That stuff doesn't bother us, okay? But we're not talking about us. We're talking about new people coming into the hobby that, you know, are especially when somebody says, "I'm looking for something that's going to be easy to build," and you're going to go recommend a Revell kit, really? Why? Why would you do that? I don't get it. I really don't. Um, you know, for many years. Oh, excuse me. Gotta have some water. Many years, my go-to kit recommendation for new modelers was the old Tamiya Panzer 2. Was it Panzer 2 FG kit or whatever, the one with the Africa Corps guys on the front of the box? They were like $6 or $7, and that kit is freaking basic. I mean, really basic. And it's one color. You know, single road wheels, old rubber track, minimum part count. To me, it fit. It was a no-brainer. In my head, it was a no-brainer. So, you know, there's, I don't know. I guess that's the whole thing. What brought this up again was there was another thread today, and you know, and it was in one of the groups I'm in, and it came on, and basically, so the person was expressing interest in a mosquito, a de Havilland mosquito. And so I came in and I said, I said, the Tamiya Mosquito is a gem. It's a gem of a kit. It really is. If you've ever built one, you know, that is a dynamite kit. I mean, zero issue kit. That kit goes together. The fuselage, the nose is separate, because there's different kits for the gun nose and the bomber nose and whatnot. And so the way they got it put together, it's got like a little latch where the fuselage pieces come together, and it literally snaps together. And you don't even really need to put glue on it. And you can't tell. There's no seam line. You can't tell, you know, and it's like, wow, really? That's incredible. So yeah, so that was my recommendation. I was like, well, if a mosquito is what you want, then that's the kit. And somebody jumped in and it was like, well, you guys realize you're talking to a 16-year-old kid, and that's a lot of money, and this and that and the other thing, and it's like, my kids have more disposable income than I do. What are you talking about? Kids out there that spend $100 on a video game and don't think twice about it. And, you know, I mean, come on, really? This isn't the 70s anymore. And the kid actually came back, and I'm assuming it's a kid. I don't know. It doesn't really matter in my head. Okay, ask questions, so just answer it, and don't make assumptions about who they are. And what their limitations are. Um, but anyway, yeah. So, and the person came back and said, well, the money's not really that big of an issue. You know, and whatever that means. But the point is, you know, don't assume anything really. But you know, you never want to go in and assume that's somebody. Well, here, you know, you should start out on this because it's only $5. It's going to suck and it's going to make you angry, but it's only $5. Why do that to somebody? You know, I talked about this when I think I talked about this when I built the FW 190. You know, there's something to say about something like that was a very satisfying build. You know, and I forget how much time I had in it, 8 hours, 10 hours, maybe 12 hours. I don't think 12 hours, but not a lot of time for the result that you get. I mean, that sounds like a lot of time for maybe to some people, but 8 or 10 or 12 hours into a model aircraft isn't a whole lot of time. Not in 48 scale. And I mean, from start to finish. And well, maybe it's not for me because of the stuff that I like to build that I'm used to building. You know, like this thing that I'm still sanding on. But let it go, Jim. Let it go. No. But so yeah. So the point is, just because somebody's new doesn't mean we should corner them into that meaning they don't want to spend any money, and yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? Don't make assumptions. There are people out there that are willing to spend the money. I mean, you know, I'm somewhat of a cheapskate, as most of you know. But if there's something that I want bad enough, I'll spend the money. But that doesn't happen. I'm trying to think of what the last thing was like that I bought that I had to have. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, that's really it for what I really wanted to talk about. I just kind of an update, I guess, on me. Man, I look horrible. I need a haircut. Oh, wait, I can't get one. I'm going to start a new hair salon. COVID cuts. $19. COVID cuts. Oh, sorry. Oh, there's humor and everything. You just got to see it. And yes, I know people who have been through the ringer with the stuff. But anyway. So what was I going to? Oh, so I went to the doctor today. And diabetic checkup thing. And which went pretty well. Things are getting better. He's going to look into some additional stuff for me. Blood pressure's back down to what's normal for me. And I had blown up my calf at work the other day, last Sunday. And looked at that and it's like, yeah, you did something bad, but you know, just let it go. But the big thing is I've made mention a couple things about losing feeling in my hands and stuff, and it's been getting pretty bad where I wake up in the mornings and my hands are numb and this and so he pretty much concluded like, yeah, you got carpal. So sending me to a neurologist to get the probes put in and do all the testing and whatnot, and then we'll go from there. Which is good news, actually, because I was starting to really kind of go down that pathway of, okay, if this is something, you know, to do with the diabetes and stuff, the neurological stuff that goes along with that, and I'm going to lose feelings in my hands and eventually pieces of my hands and stuff. I've got a whole bunch of kids here that nothing's going to happen with. And so that wasn't a fun thought. But anyway, so, you know, carpal tunnel is fixable, repairable, fixable, you know, WD-40, no. So yeah, so I don't know where that's going. So now I got braces. I got to wear them at night. I'll see where we go with that. Explains a lot of things that have been happening for the past year or so, or even longer. But anyway, that's it. I gotta work all the way. I work all the way through the weekend again this weekend. But right now I'm in the middle of a plumbing project that sucks. But once I get that done, I'm going to come back to the Hetzer, get the Hetzer done, and then we were going to start working on the B29. And go from there. I'm going to do the whole new deck for this. I think I've already told you guys that. I got some plastic sheet. Of course, it's not long enough, so I'm going to have to, there's going to be a seam in here somewhere. But I got to find me a top view, print it out to scale, put it on the plastic sheet, cut it out, be done. Big Charlie, how are you? So yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be cool. But I'm really looking forward to this monster, getting this monster done. So what I'm going to do is AMT kits I like go together. Some of the old AMT kits are pretty good and very few parts. You're right. Very few parts. That it? Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? I think that's it. Oh, I was going to talk about this. So the display for this, I think I'm going to do the B29 with the with this guy. If I can get it here. With this guy and a I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I'm falling apart, but other than that, I'm good. So yeah, the Gecko, the B29, the Gecko, the Hein, P47N, and probably like a P51, a VLR P51. That'll be all in this case right here. That's what this is a display case that sits on this pedestal. It's big. I have no idea where it's going to go. Hopefully in a local museum or VFW or something, somewhere where they'll appreciate it. So that's it. That is it for now. I still want to do the Zoom thing. The Zoom build. What are we going to call that? The SA, we'll call it SAC, the SA Club, the Strategic Air Command. No, I don't know. But I actually was on Zoom, I think last weekend, and I put up the link and nobody jumped on. But I mean, it was just something I decided to do at the last minute just to test it. So I'll probably have to announce it when it's going to happen. Yeah, or maybe I just leave the room open and let people come in whenever they want. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I gotta go. Well, I should go put the toilet back in the bathroom. I don't want to. But I should get that done. And I'm gonna go to work tomorrow. Hobble along. I got where's my cane? There it is. It's on the floor. And that's what I'm supposed to stay off my leg as much as possible. It's like, you realize I'm a mail carrier, right? So anyway, funny stuff, man. Funny. Oh, did you guys see the mug? I don't know if you remember this group on Facebook, $20 Modelers Club. Is it backwards? Are you guys seeing this backwards, or is it not? It's backwards on my screen, but that may just be my screen. Anyway, this is pretty cool. They had a P61 build over there, and all of us that finished got a mug. And I like it. So it sits up here on my shelf with all my supplies. It's good. Ugh. All right. Okay, I'm just jabbering now. I haven't been on here in so long. But yeah, I'm going to go actually do something that I'm supposed to be doing. How's that for a change? All right. Hey, you guys have a good night. You know, the top of this video, that whole thing, you know, I know sometimes I come off like I'm whining, but it's really, you know, supposed to be helpful and informational, and you know, sometimes a new guy wants to buy a Corvette instead of a Yugo. For those of you that know what a Yugo is. All right. Hey, have a great night. We'll talk to you later. Bye.